And we're back. Game 3 of the Team THRLL scouting rounds about to start. And of course, this is the loser bracket. So the teams that lost the previous two games are here together to see who goes home today and who still goes on to fight in the scouting rounds. It's Beora versus dywan1na. 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 You still don't know how you say it?
Yes,
But
I
those
have
two are
no
going head
idea.
to head, and the last games were kind of one-sided by the other team. So now, hopefully, they together can make a very exciting game.
We have as you said, the losers bracket between both teams. Expecting similar bands to come out as the first game against the guys of Team dywan1na. Of course, once again, Sejuani gets taken out, which does give us enough reason to believe that we might see another Kane game from Domi here. Could be going for a Jarvan as well. Is my expectation. Righteous does not get his Darius here. So pretty targeted bans towards the top and jungle here from blue side, where red side just says, you know what, THRLL, we don't want to play your Shen. He could go for Cho. I'd love to see it.
Yes, thanks for days in his champion pool, so they really can't outban him there. The only thing I can think of is that red side now is looking for a sort of pick comp where they do not want that meddling Shen ult destroying that plan. Assassins are being countered by the champion normally, so could maybe see that, however, not really the style that Lionel plays. Still, Victor is on the table for him this time around, who was of course banned in the previous game that they played. And yeah, Jhin, pretty standard pick, coming through early on for the team of Beora.
And not only do they ban Sejuani for Domi, but they also ban the Elise and the Rek'Sai away from scary mode. They saw him play the Nocturne previous game, not something they are scared of clearly, but they do not want to see the Elise or the Rek'Sai. And now picking up the Samira. It is the Jarvan for Domi here.
Rengar or Kha'Zix are also champions that scary mode sometimes plays, but of course his mains are banned out.
Hecarim.
He's hovering the Hecarim, who has been really strong in the past period, has also gotten the small nerf, so I'm not sure if he's going to go for it. Thresh, very comfortable pick for Shredder, was banned the last time they were in this phase, but is able to pick it up now, so the bot lane sitting pretty comfortable there with the tools they're given. But the question is, what are the solo laners and the jungler gonna do? Because they have been targeted pretty hard by those bans of dywan1na. Kinda wanna see the Fizz again from Killakin, because I feel like there was more potential to it.
Killakin not yet picking up the Fizz this time. It is going to be Hecarim, one of the secondary champions that the scary mode likes to play. I think he's much more comfortable on his Hecarim than he is on the Nocturne, so I'm assuming he's going to have more impact this game. For the ganks, and at this point, as you said, both Milan and Shredder on fairly comfortable champions for them. Thresh and Jhin, both champions they really like to play. And are there still certain bans we're looking to expect here? I'm looking at, for example, some mid lane bans.
Could very well come true. Not sure if they are afraid of the Fizz that they saw in the last game. Of course, two games being very one-sided, you can't really say how the picks are, but they are gonna take it away from him. Is still a really big comfort pick for him. Echo is still open, and also Orianna, a champion which both sides play on the mid lane, is still on the table, so possible that they're gonna take it away from the other side, or they're gonna ban it here. So if it's not banned, I'm fairly certain it's gonna be played this game, because it's also nice with Jarvan ult in this particular setup.
They're gonna leave Lionel's Victor open for now. So his Kale is out and his Galio is out. They don't want that to be facing against them, but he still has the Victor pick open, which is definitely a possibility for him to go ahead and pick up. There's a couple more bans to go. Akali gets taken away from both top and mid. Of course, a flexible pick for both teams to be going here. And the last pick, I'm not sure what to expect here, because there's just such a broad pool of champions that they can all play.
Victor's still open, Orianna's still open. Would expect another ban directed towards that mid lane. They're gonna go for the Aatrox. Is of course one of Right's picks. Still has some option, but he has been hit pretty hard. Of course, Gale is also a champion from his pool. Ornn still open for him. Is he gonna go the tank duty? Not sure.
I'm expecting Orianna to be picked up here by Lionel, to be honest. Not here, but as last pick.
Seems like the Ornn is gonna be it. Last champion almost. Or
oh,
no.
The switcheroo!
Curveball! Got duped.
Curveball.
Going for that Malphite.
Ornn was a possibility. I was expecting Ornn to come out there as well. Eventually it did turn into the Malphite pick going top lane. We all know that the tank Malphite is giving quite a lot of people some THRLL at this point. Sylas going to be picked up. Maybe anticipating the Orianna pick here.
Yeah, also
possibly a Victor pick, which could be combined pretty well with Hecarim's onslaught of shadows.
I think this is Sylas top. A huge counter for Malphite and Ornn as well. Being played a lot in Korea. When they see that pick coming through, because you just steal the ult and they say, okay, I have the same tools as you, I will counter you if you go in. And as you see, it is gonna be the Sylas top, and they're sending the Ahri towards that mid lane. And Ahri Orianna, kind of a classic matchup, used to be played a lot against each other, so not sure if they're going to go for this. Victor is still open, could go for it, and Zed is one of his mastery champs, not sure if he's gonna use this here. I would think it's amazing, but is he gonna throw it here in this game with the Zed?
He is gonna go for the Orianna eventually. Was to be expected with the combination they have right now. Malphite goes on with the Unstoppable, of course, Jarvan Cataclysm, and the Orianna Ball, of course, on top. We did get a placeholder there. The Ahri pick was not real. It's gonna be swapped out for Echo, meaning that they have quite a lot of melee champions, but a lot of upfront burst.
Also more logic. Next to Fizz, the other assassin, that Killik in place is the Echo, so it was an expected pick for him there. And I absolutely love that thing there is gonna play the Sylas against the Malphite, because it's such a good solution for the problem, because Malphite usually you say, okay, what's good against him in lane? You have some options like the Vladimir, who can just keep sipping from him endlessly without him being able to do too much. But Sylas really takes it from another direction. He says, okay, I'm not here to necessarily beat you, I'm here to match you and just form the same threat to your team that you do to my team, with that Unstoppable Force scaling, of course, with the AP item that Sylas builds. Basically have an AP Malphite on your squad who can destroy your squishy targets, so they're gonna have to watch out with the Orianna there and the AD carry that they aren't caught out, because that Sylas, if he gets hit, pretty much the one-shot ability of the AP Malphite on his side.
The red side has a pretty straightforward comp, right? They engage with Jarvan and Malphite, and they follow it up with the Orianna Shockwave. And then there's the Samira, and I forgot who their support was. If you can help me out here. I completely forgot which support they picked. Anyways, that's basically their game plan. And the Nautilus. So the Nautilus can actually use his depth charge on top of that as well to find an even easier pick. So they have a lot of engage, plus his dredge line. Basically, they are saying, look, we're going to go through this laning phase, and at 15 to 20 minutes, we're just going to 5-man stack and walk around the map, and every fight, we're going to be the ones engaging. We're going to be the ones to try and start this fight and just basically blow up 2 or 3, hopefully more people in one combination, turning the fight in our advantage.
And that's a scary thing, because as you say, they're gonna stack 5, they wanna run around with a big squad, trying to find the team fight press R combo dream that they have in their squad. But of course, if you have a Silas with Malphite ult, he loves it when you're stacked, so he can just do the same to you. Malphite ult into the Heka ult, into the Echo stun. They also have that combo that is devastating for them, especially if they are able to get a little bit ahead early game, with Scary Mode hopefully being able to have a little bit of a better performance in the last game, where of course he got destroyed by the Lilia there of Ibeton. Could be an interesting game, so I wouldn't say a team fight is automatically won by red side, just because of that Silas pick, who totally destroys all the evil plans that dywan1na had.
They do have on blue side possible engages for themselves. Both teams can go very hard. Both teams can also have the possibility to go for some counter engages. Nilan now trolling us with Ravens and Kog'Maws, whereas we all know that Jhin is going to be picked up here, followed up by the Thresh pick, giving them 2 solid and rather safe champions for them to enjoy in bottom lane. Looking at these teams at this point and looking at both drafts, we know what's coming. The Nautilus, of course, for red side is going to finish up that composition. Lane-wise, who's winning which lane, and team-wise, who has what are the win conditions, basically?
Yeah, win conditions definitely. Red side is the team fight normally against any other champion but Silence. This is just the creme de la creme. You want to engage with all those ultimates there and find the pick. However, mid lane could be favored for Echo once he is able to get those roams off. Pretty safe champion, so not easily caught out. If you have Jarvan going in on him, locking him up, not gonna help much. So maybe Killaking can get a foothold here, what he wasn't able to get in the last game with the Fizz. And yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Definitely keeping my eye out for THRLL, because if he can get the ball rolling, you will see Orianna ults, Malphite ults, Jarvan ults, but not in the way you would like them to see if you're on the team of dywan1na.
Both teams have gone into loading screen. We're still on that 3-minute delay, of course. Righteous on the Malphite, something he, according to OPGG, has played a lot, but of course Malphite, not the hardest champion to destroy, right? It's pretty straightforward. You ult in and your team follows. Or you ult out and you live. Basically. Tommy has enjoyed quite some Jarvan games, pretty comfortable on that pick. Same goes for Lanel on Orianna. Samira, of course, rather new champion, so not 100% sure what Panchoman is going to be able to pull out of his hat on that one. And Bowman on a rather safe and comfortable pick as well, with the Nautilus, likes Thresh, and well, it's a hooker as well. And the same goes for the blue side, all on fairly comfortable picks. The only one that jumps out and is a bit interesting, or a bit maybe out of his comfort zone, is the Silas that we've talked so much about.
Yeah, before we touch on him, the Malphite for Righteous, you say, yeah, he has this style, goes in, goes out, blah blah blah, but at the end you had the choice to go AP or full tank. But with the new items, with the Sunfire Aegis, going full tank does almost as much damage as full AP. That's at least the feeling that we're getting when we're playing against the Malphite these days, that he's just so incredibly tanky, and once he has that item in the longer skirmish, he can totally will you down, get the damage out without even have to use his ultimate. So wonder how that skirmish is gonna go, and definitely what mythic item Silas is gonna build, because we're still searching for the optimal solutions. We saw today a few eclipses on the AD carries as well, on the MF, on the Jhin. Wonder if Nilan is going to go the same on Jhin, because we also seen some Gale Force helping him to escape. Might be interesting here if you have a Malphite ready to ult on your face. That extra dash can make the difference in a fight. So yeah, wondering what the choices of players of this skill level are with the new meta, because everyone is still figuring it out. We're still searching best combinations. Nerfs coming in left, right, and center. So we'll see.
9 times
how
out
the
of
pros
10.
do it.
Yes, 9 times out of 10 we will see a Jhin go for the Eclipse build. However, in this game it could possibly be that he decides against that to go, as I said, for a Gale Force to jump out of Domi's Cataclysm, to dash out of the Shockwave, and maybe even dash out of the Unstoppable Force from Malphite coming right at you. So there are quite a lot of uses for Gale Force for the Jhin this game. Chances, however, are that he will go for the Eclipse just because it's Jhin and that's what you build.
Just because OP.gg dictates it, you buy that, so it's better.
Because also he's going for the Dark Harvest. Lethality Jhin wants to pick up that extra damage with the Eclipse item. Could go Gale Force. It's not a bad pickup here. Definitely not because of the dash. But very interested to see. We have gone into loading screen, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at the runes once again, not a lot of crazy shenanigans going on around here. Seems very, very, very normal and basic. The only thing that could be interchanged maybe is Hecarim's Conqueror into Phase Rush. However, I enjoy Conqueror more myself as well, so I completely understand. And I don't even think we've seen a Phase Rush Hecarim in these scouting grounds, only Conquerors up till now.
And we're heading onto the Rift. It's the third game of the day of the scouting grounds. First game in the loser brackets. Very important. Loser of this game is definitely out of the tournament. You do not want to be in that spot. You want to keep going, because there is still a possibility that you can win the scouting grounds if you win this game, win the next game against the loser in the winner bracket, and then of course win the finals. So that's where you want to go to. Everyone heading towards the river. Up till now we've always seen some level 1 shenanigans in the games. Both teams here have a pretty rough game so far. Want to prove themselves that they can show the skill they have. So wondering how it goes. Definitely both teams taking the defensive option this game, and choose a little pause to start off.
We have a little pause. Summoner actually disconnected. Looks like they did reconnect rather quickly. So we're gonna have a game restart any moment now, where both teams are gonna call the ready, and so we can jump back into this game right now. We're on the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams looking to go for the defensive way in the beginning of this game. Both teams not looking for engages. Could have been possible, of course, with a Nautilus ult and Domi and Scary trading auto attacks here. The flag comes out for vision, but that'll be all.
They just touched spears in the most romantic way I've ever seen. Just a little tap both ways, very sportsmanlike, and that will probably be the only damage that is being dealt this first minute. Putting a cheeky little ward down to know where he will start, and I think he has the bind, but throws a shackles a little bit wide.
Fancy feet by Jarvan here. Jarvan gonna be starting red side, and Hecarim gonna be starting blue side. So we have opposite jungle starts by both teams, making it a possible interesting start here. Probably both going for a full clear, and then they will end up at opposite sides of the map as we get into this game. Loser brackets between both teams. Team Series, Team Vanguard gonna be battling it out to see. Sorry, it's the other.
I was changing it. I was changing it as we
speak. Completely wrong by me. Team dywan1na, sorry, and Team Beora gonna battle it out to see which of these two teams has to leave the scouting grounds today, and which of these two teams is gonna be able to fight another day tomorrow in the semis and the finals of this weekend's scouting grounds.
Bowman walking forward, knows the gank is coming in, and they're gonna try the first blood here.
It looks like there's quite a lot of damage coming through. Oh, the dredge line is gonna be the weirdest dredge line I've seen. It's gonna be a hit, And we do see the Dark Harvest proc eventually. He does not go down, but Jin had to use heal and flash, and Thresh had to use flash as well. And now Domi might be in quite a pickle. Great play by Shredder there, finding first blood. Not necessarily needed to take that one, but he finds it and he said, look guys, it was my play, my kill.
It was a nice play, and of course Shredder getting hooked under the turret, making it so Bowman takes a little bit too much damage there, and eventually, yeah, Scary Mode saying, I'm coming back to the kill, and now maybe Shredder in problem here.
Shredder definitely looking to be in several problems, but the fourth shot by Panchoman finishing the kill onto Samir. That was a hook for hook trade. It looks like Thresh does not win that.
Taking the kill back on the red side, and Scary Mode just keeps galloping to the mid lane, back and forth, doing the flash already. Maybe they can get a kill, and Nyland now in trouble, gets hooked, and yeah, that's definitely a kill. And both teams going at it at equal pace, and that's what we want to see. We do not want to see the one-sided game that we've seen before. This is more like it, and at this point there are so many things happening that I can't follow.
It's a great hook around the corner, basically wanted style hook there by THRLL Bowman. Picking that up, and look at Domi here. They saw him, Domi and Shredder on opposite sides of this wall in the river.
Spider senses are tingling though.
He is gonna Hex Flash over it, not realizing Domi was there eventually, and getting out of that one. He probably is gonna go for a small underpants change after that small jump scare.
Gets out with the Hex Flash. Nice little pickup in the mastery tree there, giving him some extra utility to get those hooks down on his targets. Well, bot lane pretty equal. 2 kills on the blue side though, and Jarvan picked one up a little bit after his little tackle play by Shredder. Tommy being able to perform very, very strong in his first game today with Kayn. And then of course falling a little bit off. Now a little bit slower start, but still good. And top lane farm fest until 6, I believe.
Most likely farm fest until 6. GA Righteous has found a small XP lead though, is 5 versus a level 4 Silas, and winning the trades as well. Domi going really deep here for an invade. But both mid laners showing their face to tell him to not to do that anymore, because it's not nice to steal from other.
And I must say it's nice to see that there is so much attention for the bot lane now. Because last 2 games was all about, oh, the top laner is so fat, oh, the jungler is carrying this, that, and now you actually see a lot of plays happening there. And in this season it's needed. Oh, Fangdera in trouble.
Goes very close to jumping into the first gray screen for him this game. It's not gonna be the case. Has his teleport up, did use his flash here, but so did Righteous to try and find the kill. Flash for flash trade, teleport for teleport trade in a bit of a longer sense. But yeah, top lane going really even at this point at least. And we're trying to wonder, where are the junglers gonna have to keep their focus to extend their lead.
Bot lane is a good lane to gank both sides. Have that engage tool with the hook, so you just can be free there, because also the AD carry set it up. Once they hit the hook, you have the Jhin who can follow with the bind, and Samira with the passive can give an extra knock-up to extend that CC duration, so there are options there. Mid lane is possible for blue side, because the Orianna is
Domi
pretty immobile, and Domi in trouble now. Scary Mode, pretty strong pony.
I was
to watch out.
Gonna say he's gonna probably flag and drag over. Gets ignited using the ultimate eventually, but then the unstoppable force comes in for the re-engage, of course, which eventually does not pick up Scary Mode. Boma does go down though in this fight, and now Fangdera probably gonna get out. Unstoppable force is not there anymore, but I mean, it's a tanky Malphite.
The 2 health bars for Scary Mode and Killikin, they both 1 HP. That was disgusting to see, and an incredible juke for Killikin as well, juking the Malphite ult while he had to so low health with the flash and then just running away. That was magnificent how he got out of that play. And Fengdera eventually picking up the kill on the Nautilus from Bowman, who did a good roam, but wasn't able to eventually capitalize on it. So, good plays by a team from Beora. And with Fengdera kill on the board, being able to steal the Malphite ult will be pretty big for him.
This is, up until now, a very relaxed game. It's a 1,000 gold lead for blue side at this point. Shredder just simply clearing this bottom lane ward and gonna find the hook here onto Samira, but gets hooked himself, and Onslaught of Shadows hits too. Samira is gonna have to flash out, and then bounce grenade goes behind her, but the flash from Nautilus not on time. Jhin getting off his 4th shot there. Again, a lot of summoners being used, and only 1 kill.
In favor of the blue side again, Jhin picking it up, and you see that execute damage with the Dark Harvest is starting to hurt really bad for them. And when I say it, you have Samira using her dancing shoes, the camera doesn't care that there is being a showdown. And as it states, the pickup was not there, his aim was not true. Samira lives to fight another day.
Meanwhile, top lane still the farm fist that it has always been. They do find the bind on the turret. Are they gonna look for the dive here? Shredder might be the one tanking the turret here, but it's not. It's gonna be Jhin. Eventually the aggro goes to Shredder, gonna be able to take one more shot. Finds Nautilus, a very well executed dive there to find 2 kills for them in the bottom lane rather easily.
Yeah, they also juggled the tower very well. A little bit of a cancel from the turret, so they didn't take as much damage as they should. Malphite and Silas very close trades. As I said, it's all about that bot lane now, and Milan getting fairly fat on the Jhin, buying flat AD as it suits a Lethality Jhin these days. And as you stated in the beginning of the game, probably gonna go for that Eclipse build.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's going for the Eclipse build. Definitely, if he's 3-1 and 2, very strong Jhin at this point, only gonna get more and more obnoxious as the game progresses from the moment he gets the Eclipse, and it means that he's not gonna be able to escape the hard engages. So, sure, he's going for Eclipse, and yes, that's gonna give him extra damage and the shield and the movement speed, but if you're inside a Cataclysm, does that actually matter? Probably not.
Well, to be fair, with Gale Force you can't dash out of a Cataclysm. It doesn't go over a wall, so wouldn't have helped you either.
Ah. Well, in that case, Eclipse is still a better pick. He's just gonna have to really take note of his own positioning here in and before these fights to make sure that he does not get blown up instantly, because at this point it is the eggs mostly in Jin's basket. So that's gonna be a problem if he does get taken down rather easily in these fights. That will inevitably be coming up later this game.
We also have to say a little word about Scary Mode, who had such a hard game last time around with the Nocturne, and now look at him, he's everywhere in the lanes. Malphite ults flying around, can he get away?
The Onslaught of Shadows is gonna come in eventually. Malphite does not have the ult to get out, but he does get out eventually with his ultimate and his flash. The chase is on, Scary Mode goes in, so I think they're gonna find a stun. No, the Juke's defensive footwork, Red Smite is enough to pick up the kill with the burn, I believe, from Scorch, to find the kill eventually onto Malphite, who has to use a lot of utility there to get out, or not get out.
Red buff with the Red Smite, the dot was enough, and Scary Mode picking up his first kill in this whole other jungler than we saw previously. Good for him to getting comfortable this game, being able to do everything he wants, and Tommy kinda underperforming compared to his wonderful Kayn that he played in the first game of the day, where he was just smashing. Silas healing incredible amounts on this small fight, not really in danger, and also spotted by a pink ward there, so Righteous knows I don't want to go too deep here.
Malphite is gonna find the re-engage maybe. Cataclysm can come down now, finds two people. Look at the heals though by Silas. Jarvan is gonna have to flash out of there. Scary mode going really low. Righteous might be able to pick up the kill. It's not gonna be enough, and even the chase onto Jarvan is on, but that's gonna stop rather soon. Where in the bot lane, a hook for hook trade comes in again. TP is gonna come down. Samir finding the kill. Tommy going down to Echo, who found a great roam from the mid lane. Look at those heals from Samira, but it's not going to be enough as Silas was there with the teleport, had stolen Cataclysm, jumped on Samira's face, and finds the third kill for his team in the overall map fighting shenanigan.
Very well played by blue side. Bot side from the team of dywan1na going a little bit deep there with Samira flashing or dashing under the turret to get that kill. Of course, a well placed teleport by THRLL finishes it off there, and that means that they are pulling ahead quite nicely with a gold lead of 4k, 7 kills ahead, and yeah, they're all in a good spot actually. It's not really all the eggs in one basket as we've seen previously, but it's fairly divided for them.
And sure, Domi might be underperforming. Does not have as much pressure in this game as he had in previous ones, but just as we say that, he finds a great engage on the Shredder, caught out of position, gonna survive it eventually thanks to the aftershock. Very nice shockwave to save his team there by Leno, but it's gonna be Domi being picked up, and Shredder survives with a shred of health.
I'll you let yourself out.
I will let myself out and see you later.
Bye. I think they're going in on a Malphite, meanwhile bot side trying to get scared with huge amounts of damage, but this is not gonna end well for the pony. Meanwhile, the Rock running away for his life.
Rock has to skedoodle out of his way. Righteous getting out there eventually. Killikin in the bottom lane, gonna look for a kill here onto either Panchoman or the Nautilus. Gonna wait for his team to push in the lane. Does have the stun available. Gets hooked there. Might get chain CC. Does have his ultimate up at this point. Gonna be using that onto Domi, who uses Cataclysm to not kill the Echo eventually. But Nilan once again gets completely... Oh no, Nilan. This is so sad for you. I feel terrible for him.
Scumbag Killikin just yeets the lantern. Could have walked out easily if it says nope. And yeah, Nilan overstays there a little bit. No escape left. And I get picked up. So this is a good turnaround for the red side. Being able to get those kills, picking up the second Drake of the game. And then we'll see what rift it is, because we have a chance on an Infernal Rift. Because we've seen a lot of mountains, but is this the Infernal Drake? Nope.
It looks like it's another. The mountains arise, and this is something that could be a very interesting soul for red side. At this point, it's equaling Drake, so they could be the ones picking it up even later on in this game. They have the Jarvan, they have the Malphite, they have the Nautilus.
Of course, you have Nautilus, who can hook himself to more pieces of the environment now, so slight buff for him, question mark. And,
no answer.
No answer. Good answer. And Malphite, of course, love those resistances. Once more armor and more magic resist. So he's gonna be a really, really tanky guy if they can secure a few of those Drakes in the future. As I said, red side, good pickup for them there. Puts them a little bit back in the game, because quite rough so far. But mostly impact from the bot lane and the junglers now, so wonder if those carries can actually shine this game when they had a little bit of attention.
And now in the mid lane, going really low, finds a great shockwave. Killikin gonna use his ultimate there, Chrono Shift, to get out. Tommy once again using Cataclysm is full tank, so the damage is not maybe necessarily what he wants to find, but the damage with the onslaught of Shadows, Scary Mode picking that one up with red buff. Domi also in trouble. He's probably able to get out. Was looking for a re-engage, but eventually not working out for him, where Samira gonna ult. Nilan needs to use his flash, is gonna go down eventually through the last auto attack of Pancho Man. The hook comes through in the mid lane. Scary Mode burning.
Oh, Killikin!
Getting away with his life.
Just poking
going
the bear.
Really ham. A hook Is he gonna go in again? He wants to. He's throwing out the stun field, but it's not gonna be enough. There's the steal from the Unstoppable Force into the two-man engaged by Silas. Finds a great roam into a even better double kill.
Oh, gallop, gallop, Pony coming for Samira.
Pony gonna find Samira. Red Smite comes down, or sorry, it does not come down. It actually looked like it did. The burn is enough for Scary Mode to pick that one up, and we do like to see this. He had a bad game on Nocturne. You could then argue that his mental state might not be 100%, but he's clearly showing that it doesn't matter. Bad games happen. Clean slate, start over, and now he's 4-1 and 3 on this pool.
And it's good that you mention it, because that's a problem a lot of pro players have in their games. Once they are on a losing streak, they can't get out of that mental block. And although this is not the high pro scene as we see it often in LEC or LT League or anything, it still can hurt your playstyle once you're in that stomp as we've seen the game before.
Lionel almost picking up Hecarim there with a sombrero shockwave move, the classic. Most of the time you get laughed at for doing it wrongly. This time he used it correctly. Doming trying to find an engager with Cataclysm. Look how loafing there is. He does get picked up. Eventually Mortal Shield Bow is gonna find the shield for Samira. It's not going to be enough. He gets picked up as well, and it's a 1-for-1 trade eventually top lane for the bot lane AD carry.
Panchaman showing that he definitely can play this champion. Gets off his trigger, how is it called? Inferno trigger.
His ult?
Gets it off quite well.
What?
That was 770 damage with the execute of the Curtain Call. Lionel, what happened there? You just disappeared from the map. That was insane. Nilan with the lethality, Jin doing the damage.
Yeah, Lionel thinking, you know what, I'll save my support here from the ultimate that is Curtain's Call, and now gets completely, well, he gets half HP basically by the last execute shot from Jin's Curtain's Call. So, ladies and gentlemen who are still doubting why you build Eclipse, there you have it.
That's your answer right there. Definitely doing Nilan good right now. And we'll see if he's gonna have a problem at some point with all the engaged those from red side, because they still have that crazy teamfight comp that we talked about in Champ Select. You have all these champions who just need to press their R button, and you have just a total fiesta from your side, but they don't seem to be able to get it off just because they're so far behind. And Killakin, yeah, it's Echo, so you can't really catch it.
A very nice hook there at the end onto Scary Mode, which does not let him connect his ultimate onto Samira. It does, however, spell his own doom, and Echo is gonna go in hard here onto the tank Malphite, who tries to answer the re-engaged Unstoppable Force. Killakin in the back does not have his ultimate anymore. I had a little bit of a frame drop there, but looks like he is gonna get out, and Jarvan might be slightly in trouble there. Jin chasing onto him. Scary Mode finding a double kill. Shredder clearly just wanting to clear the wards. And Dragon is up, so this should be the second Drake of the game for the blue side, who are once again, by the way, Deja Vu winning by a lot.
Convincing wins for blue side at this point. Started off quite equal, but Scary Mode is definitely making the difference here, as well as Nilan, who is having a really great game on the Jin. And Killakin, nice to see that after the Fizz game, where he wasn't really doing what he had to do, he's able to be a real nuisance with his Echo this time around. They'll have to watch out, because of course they are still low from the last fight, and red side back with full health.
And a great shockwave steal there by Silas with the TP, came in from behind with the flank. Now Jin looking for the kill onto Malphite. It is eventually picked there with the Silas being able to pick that up. Now the hook onto Nautilus with the Lantern, giving Silas eventually enough assisting damage to pick up a double kill there for him. And meanwhile, Drake has finally been picked up for blue side as well.
Feng Beora having a really great game as well. Just being able to be so versatile in all those fights, picking up the different ults, champions, and then using them at the correct time is definitely not an easy task. So this champion requires some insight to play to his fullest effect, and that is what he's showing in this game, that he really can do what he has to do in this matchup, because it's just a brilliant pick from the draft on against the Malphite and against just a team comp in general that is really reliant on their ultimates to use this champion that way. Well done by Beora probably, who crafted this nasty comp that is dominating the game at this point.
And at this point, for the third game in the row, blue side is winning by a mile or 50 against red side, who, of course, they still have the wombo combo potential to turn this fight around. But imagine red side gets it off. Imagine red side gets the combination they want and get the pylon of ultimate. Will it be enough after Thresh gets completely caught out of position? Will it be enough for them to win the fight? Or do we think that blue side can actually turn it around even if they get caught?
Depends on the target, of course. If they get a key target out, they might be able to win. But that is the question, who is the key target here? Because you have top, mid, jungle and AD carry who are all fed. Who do you need to take out? They all do so much damage, even the Hecarim is objectively really, really a threat to their whole backline at this point. So the rule says that you have to kill the AD carry, but as I've seen Silas now, he just cleans up your whole team, so he might also be a target you need to watch out for.
At this point, it doesn't seem like red side can really pick a target and after that turn the fight around. There are so many threats in the game right now for blue side. They have 516 Silas, very strong Hecarim, and to top it off, they have their two basically damage dealers, classically speaking,
for blue side,
who are very fed as well. Where Domi is gonna try and flag and drag, does not find the flag and drag. Jarvan's ultimate gets stolen there, is gonna get dunked on. No, it's gonna be onto Orianna, who tries to find the shockwave. Not gonna be enough. Thingdera has to stop that cataclysm right then and there to let his team come through. The damage from Samira is quite much. On top of that, there's a lot of lifesteal. It's not going to be enough to tank 4 people. So that's a bit of a no-no. But, I mean, they're really trying to turn it around. The blue side is just too far ahead.
As you can see, Panchaman really doing some work with that Samira. It was starting out quite scary when started ulting there. But it's just not enough in the lead that Beora's team has at this point. Picking up the win in the team fight, picking up this Baron, more than 10k in the pocket for them over their counterpart. And it's so hard to come back. They did get a little pick at the start of the fight, or way before it on Thresh. But you see, even if they get it, they can't really do anything with it, because they just don't want to fight those key targets. And the question is, how long do you want to stall before you get at the point that you can win these fights? Of course, you have the wombo combo, and there is a breaking point when it is enough to kill several people. When they're stacked, maybe you have a shot to actually do something. But for now, blue side being well aware of the threats and never really all standing on the same tile. That is definitely one that they keep in mind.
And Orianna trying to farm the side lane, but Killikin easily picking up another kill right there. Bowman and his AD carry were not on time to pick up the kill there. Scary Mode is gonna run into the Jarvan, not able to pick up blue buff, or was he? Not entirely sure. They both are running around with one. No, it's only Jarvan. He does pick it up, has to flag and drag his way out of that one.
Almost.
A good cataclysm. Wow, another great play by Shredder. We saw him do it once before. He does it again here. Now, this time the hook comes down on Thingdera. He is gonna go very low, but the healing from the Silas is too much. Double kill for Hecarim. 8-1-9 Pony, 8-1-10 top lane Silence, 8-1-7 Echo. I mean, there's no coming back from this, right?
Righteous runs for his life, but he just gets flash on
Yikes.
by the Echo, and they're just breaking open the base with the Baron buff. As you said, coming back from this is highly doubtful. Maybe if there is a disconnect and they're friendly enough to not pause the game, then it's possible, but I don't really see this happening in a realistic scenario. This is probably just the final push, the final nail in the coffin for the team of dywan1na.
Shredder looking for the final play of the game, final play of the game, final kill of the game with his team. GG, well played, called out by THRLL Bowman on his Nautilus. Blue side winning this one for themselves, meaning that the guys on team Beora continue on to tomorrow's semi-finals, playing the loser of the next game, and team dywan1na has to go home. We're gonna say goodbye to Righteous, Domi, Leno, Panchoman, and Bowman, putting up a good fight, but not good enough to continue their journey in this scouting grounds this weekend.
Well played to all of them. Definitely shown that they do have the skill to compete in this high level, but not all teams can go through. So I'm very curious on how the team from Beora is gonna take it in the next game in the loser bracket. Because of course, next game that we have are the two winners from the first two games, going head to head, who had a really dominating performance there. So I wonder if they can do the same thing against each other. So stay tuned. We'll be right back for the last game of today, Scouting Grounds. You definitely don't want to miss it. See you soon.
Peace.